A good night of Shabbos, a good night of Yom Tov. So, really, we're dealing here with tapping into the innocence. Tapping into the innocence. The innocence of, the innocence really is believing like a child, believing like, Zachartilach chesed noiraich. Tapping into, where we hear something and we take it as a vertel, we take it as an inyan, rather than being one with it and becoming a part of it. And that is the nas of the nishma. And that is where we need to be and what we need to tap into. So let's open up the struggle for a minute. And I may split it up into two voice notes so it's not too long, because if it gets too long, then it gets too long. So like this we have multiple choice. So, and it's also an inyan of, the work that we want to do, the work we go in half. First I put my feet in there, and then I go out, and then I put it in again, rather than what Chassidus is empowering us to do, is to step all in the Ketchila River, to get into the 50th level, to Yovel, to Cheres, complete Cheres, not in Shmita, Manoich Bashana, she is just to tap into it. And the struggle comes, the first thing we need to recognize, and this is where Choshech and Pari takes advantage of us, the struggle starts in Malchus. Malchus is, let's just say, for lack of better words, it's a troublemaker. That's what the Fadrai the Yotzer is, not Chalila Malchus, but the inyan of how it's being hijacked. Because if I'm not fully in flow, if I see something through plastic, then I see it through plastic. I'm not seeing the Etzem Zach. Rather, if I see the Etzem Zach, then there is no struggle anymore, and I know I'm just there. So the whole inyan of taking it slowly, that is created by Malchus, which causes time and space. And time and space is the process, it's a slow process. And the same spiel we went through by Matan Torah, where we said, that's enough, we can't handle anymore. And the Eibusher should not, we can't take it from him, it's too much. So, Tavshi and Pei Beis, Malchus Sheba Malchus, we're in Yesoid, Sheba Malchus now. And we're going into Malchus Sheba Malchus, which is going to be tonight, the Malchus Sheba Malchus. And this is where it's happening. This is where the action is taking place. So the tamimas that we have to understand is to feel the warmth, to feel that we are wrapped in what it's called is Rishimu. It's not plastic, it's Rishimu. Rishimu means that it's a space of, it's a concept in Chassidus that we're going to get to. But really what it is, it was where there was light, there was connection, but since light can't have expression because light is constantly connected to source, and source is too powerful and too clear, too strong, and I have no expression when I'm in source. When I'm in the presence of something great, we all have that experience that we're in the space of something that was, in awe, and over there I have no expression, I have no conflict. But in order to understand and appreciate my existence, there had to be a level of where we let go, the light is taken away, and we go through the Rishimu. And from that place of Rishimu, then I can recognize, I when I'm in plastic, I can find myself from within. So it goes as follows. On Lag BaOmer, we received Panimiyas HaTorah. What's Panimiyas HaTorah? Panimiyas HaTorah is the conversations that we're having right now and the connections that we're feeling right now, the expression that we have, that is all due to Panimiyas HaTorah. If not for Panimiyas HaTorah, it's avonim, it's rocks, it's tzur chalamish, it's the spark. There is no real expression. The best way to understand it is the upbringing was from the nas of nishma. Our parents had nas of nishma. Kabbalah said much gefrek and kashis. Put on your tzitzis, put on your yarmulke, whatever you have to do, unkan kashis. But what happened is that Not that there was a lack of that I was missing connection, but rather that was the Rishimu, that was the wrap of Malchus, which is Kabbalah soil, which gave us the foundation of ultimately who I am. From that place is where once there is a question coming, we already know now when there is resistance, when I'm feeling resistance, when I'm feeling the push, I'm not being fooled anymore by the push, and I concentrate on the guy pushing me, I'm pushing back. Rather, tapping into what's the resistance, what within me is resisting it, what am I pushing back, not looking at it from Mata Maila, getting caught up in the outside external struggle, because that's just an endless spin, Memtes, 49 levels of spin, of Nachash. But rather, I now know when I have resistance, I immediately go inside. When somebody says something to me, it directs me and it immediately triggers me. Because I have Panimiyas HaTorah, I can go inside and I can see, what do I really want? What's the fire? What really burns? What's the resistance? And this is the koich of Panimiyas HaTorah. However, Panimiyas HaTorah can be taken sometimes out of context. It's all good, as we can see the other side of Panimiyas HaTorah, that we're all, everything is okay, we love everything, and everything is accepted, and that's where Panimiyas HaTorah can get carried away. It's color, but it's just basically we're in oil, and in oil there is no eschalkes. There's no separation in oil. Everything is one, and that's the energy that we're experiencing in Lag BaOmer. The fire burns everything. Yeah, when the Eibusher said Macht's HaShekel, and there was a struggle as to how are we going to bring the two together, how are we going to bring together the Eibusher said, I'll bring my 10, and you tell the Eden to bring their 10. So Niskal Shel Moshe is like, how am I going to connect these two? How do I bring Behema into oil? It makes no sense. Look at the struggle that we're having. So fire connects it all, and that is the fire. Like BaOmer, we have Panimiyas HaTorah is fire. But now that we process the midas, because we have the koyach of the fire, in other words, when you put oil on the chain, it's not grinding anymore. It goes easier, even though it's toichen, we're grinding, but we're still able to. There's a lot of fire, there's a lot of oil, there's a lot of sweetness, so we're able to go through the process, and that's the sweetness we received the first night of Pesach. So now we processed all the midas. We successfully completed a 7-week workshop. 7 week of inner child working, getting to know myself, getting to know until now I was in a ball of, in my situation, I was all wrapped up in one. There was tremendous resistance. If something didn't go my way, I had no expression to it. I'm feeling the pain, and the pain is because I have no labels. I don't know how to express it. Lack of language. It's all just in a scholarless. It's all in one. But Nisavale Kadosh Baruch Hu Ladira B'Tachtonim, he wanted Dafke to be in Welt in full expression. So now that we became aware by touching every day, we touched another part of our functioning, the functions of the machine, another part of another tzinner, another kaf, we turned on or turned off another switch. So that, now that I'm aware of that, now I can go back into Kesser. What is Kesser? So first, let's do the Malchus Sheba Malchus. Malchus Sheba Malchus is that in the times of the Beis Hamikdash we have and the Luchas and the in Kodesh Kodeshim, we had the Aron, and from that place, the Aron was almost like a power generator here in Welt, which it was emanating from there, and from there we pulled the Chiyas, and we were the satellite dishes receiving from that koyach, from that light that was coming out from the Kodesh Kodeshim. Now, Mishachar Beis Hamikdash, when there is no more, we don't have a Beis Hamikdash anymore. So we only have Dalat Amma Shalach, which is actually today's Tanya. Everything is aligned. Remember, it's Tafshin Pei Beis, it's Panim B'Panim, so everything is in your face, everything is falling, everything is, the stars are perfectly aligned. And it's not like when we were in the Aleph, Pei Aleph, we were still in a scholars, we had no expression, there was just an experience. Now we're starting to have language for this experience. It's opening up for us. So the Dalat Amma Shalacha is Dafke in Olam Asiyah. The Avodah is to bring in the work into Dalat Amal Shalalacha, into Olam Asiyah, in my day-to-day. It's not something that is a lofty concept anymore. You have to bring it in, and if you're to the point where if we do something without mindfulness, it's not considered as we doing it. There's a lashon of the Tanya. Who came on the hitter, lafka diberdama. Veni yatsa de chavasa behitter. Bekavana lavad. Atsha yotze besfasav. We have to do it, kavana, intention, and then acting it out. So where the innocence comes in over here is in Malchus Malchus that we should first is to acknowledge and recognize who we are. We are Malchus vessels. Our machines it's a godly thing. It's a high vibration. We already took care of the Chaymer Levanim. We dusted off the Chaymer Levanim, and we're tapping into the innocence, the inner child. And the first thing to dive into that, not just half putting in one foot and then another foot, diving in nasa v'nishma. First, I'm a Kabul. I already know that this is who I am. I know I'm already at peace with my existence. I'm already at peace with my kav, what I stand for. As a Yid, what I own, what my responsibility is. I already know that we have Das Elyon, which is the key to turn, which is the key to create, the key to do, to make change in Welt. And I'm going to quote something over here. Al de avodas atachtonim mesermim gam elyonim. Amnam gam elyonim amalachim zekukim l'shefa haliki shal de Torah ki gam ba'olam elyonim kefi shehem matzad atzmam me'ir raka orim in halikis v'gam sham yesh yirida mo'ed panav yisbarach. So technically speaking, there's a question over here that Chassidus is asking, that Sav, when the Malachim had a taina to the Eibishter, why are you giving the Torah to the Yidden? Why are you giving it down there in the world? What's going on over there? Look at these chaver. They don't know. The Megaya, their head is completely else. They're down in Imka Klippus. So the whole debate with Moshe and the Malachim, they said, you guys have kinna, you have taiva, you do business, you do asek, you're involved. You guys were in Mitzrayim, or that you had to get out of Mitzrayim. What's the whole spiel? So they agreed. They said, good, give it to the Yidden. But then ask Chassidus a question, but l'choira, even in the higher conscience, there is still avodah to be done, and there's Torah there too, because Torah is, it comes down like water. Yardam Kamaim, it goes down all the way, it finds you wherever you are. So even up there is avodah to do. There's something that needs to be done. So they could have done change there too, so why bring it down to us? Why give Torah to us? And this is a good point, a time to take a minute and take Torah out of your life for a second. What would life look like if you don't have this expression? What would we feel like? What would Malchus feel like if we pull out that whole program, all the understanding, the flow? What would we look like? How would we think? How would we operate if we don't have Torah? How would you do your day-to-day without Torah? That's number one. Number two, answers Chassidus is that Sav, we bring the Sa'orim, the Machal Behemah, right? That's what we bring the first, we bring it when we start counting the Omer. Now, our key down here is where all the action happens. So when you walk around, understand that, as we used the mashal already in the past, in the mashal we used this example, that a person is not his 6 inches from front to back. Everything, all the Olam Sayonim, everything is aligned from me, Father, Zayda, all the way up to Adam Rishon, to the beginning of the beginning. We are carrying all that on our shoulders. That is called Kabbalah soil. It's like a yoke. You put it onto your shoulders. And we become a Merkava. In other words, we become a Merkava, all the Malachim, everything, we are activating them. They are Shluchim. We are activating them. And when a Yid turns the key down here, everything changes all the way up to the top. It's opening up the Kav all the way up. It's like being clogged and then opening up. All of a sudden there's clarity. So every single day when there is a spin and it's closed off and I can't connect, by doing certain Pa'ulas, Torah and Mitzvahs, we're opening up, and the Malachim bring all that all the way up to source, and then we get the Shefa down here again. So Yesod Sheba Malchus is that we are collecting all that and grounding it into Malchus. With all the knowledge that we have, everything that we've learned, if we're not bringing it into Bapoil Mamash, there's nothing going on. You're not connecting. It's the same thing as the work that one does and you can't see the fruits of his work. The labor of its work. It's frustrating. It's depleting. You're not getting rejuvenated. You're not getting, the flow is not coming in. So by Shavuos, when we're going into tomorrow night, when we're finishing Malchus Sheba Malchus, Malchus Sheba Malchus means that I am bringing into the in all the way down here. I'm acting out. I'm become a vehicle for Eibishter. I become a vehicle for higher conscience. Now, Vayichn Sham Yisrael neged dahar ki ish echad belev echad is the word azoi. As long as I'm looking for Mata Maila, my day-to-day conflicts and my day-to-day struggle is a struggle because I'm looking at it from outside. But once I recognize that we are all connected, Klal Yisrael is all one, and each person that we encounter, the relationships that we're in everything, across the board, everything is like a toichen. It's like two Flintstones triggering each other. And we all know that you can have a concept in your head, but once you share and there's an argument, you get something out of it. You go even higher than that. You're sparking the fire, you're sparking the light, and a new ischachas comes in. And from this ischachas, we can go into a higher place. Now, his chachas, there is no ischachas by Malachim. They don't have the key to do ischachas. Only us down here can do ischachas. Why? Because here it's a yesh ma'ayin. It goes from ayin, from nothingness, from oneness, into yesh, which is separation, malchus, separation. And in my separation, I am experiencing a moment of disconnect. I'm experiencing a moment of lack of flow, haraya, the struggle, the heaviness you're feeling on your heart. I can't go any further. But by grinding the stones together, that's where we spark, and the parsa evaporates. The separation disappears. It's like when you're by the ocean and you carve out a little path in the beach sand, and then the water comes and covers it, and then you remove the water again, and you keep removing the water. It's called Kriyas Yamsuf. That's the avoid and opportunity that we have over here, and that's the obligation of each and every one of us. So Kish Echad Belev Echad is to go into Das Elyon, to raise the awareness, to raise the consciousness, and seeing in each and every one of us the opportunity what we can bring, rather than looking at it from the left side, looking at it at the right, Ba'ayin Tova. Every interaction I have, I know that there is this person that has a light that's pushing behind it. He has a Panimis HaTorah that's behind it, that's pushing him. I have a Panimis HaTorah that's pushing me. And in our interaction over here, how can I spark and remove the parsa? Open up the parsa. That was Kriyas Yamsuf, Shviyah Shel Pesach, the work was done once. Initially, it's been carved out. It's etched into each and every one of us. We're a product of that experience. And then we're going into the process of processing all the midas. And here we're coming in now from Malchus, Sheba Malchus, we're going into Keser. What is Keser? We covered it last night by the Farbreng, and we're going to briefly get to the point over here. Keser is my etzem existence. Keser is who I am, the source, the voice, the etzem of the existence of this machine, of who you are, of who we are. It's an opportunity to be in oneness here in Malchus, in physical world. We need the tmimis for that. I need the Kabbalah soil. to really believe and be makabel that this is what it is, this is what I represent. I am a being, I am a walking being that has the key to turn the key and open up anything. And from that place, we can get into the Keser, we can get into the oneness. And now, since it's grounded in Dalet Amal Shel Halacha, and to each and every one of us on our level, where Dalet Amal Shel Halacha is, in my interactions, in giving somebody a good word, recognizing, being kind to myself, that's key, being kind to myself, because we are our biggest enemies. If I can't take myself, then I can't take anybody else. I can only take one else as much as I can take myself. So Vichon Sham Yisrael Neged Dahar Kish Echad Belev Echad is where we are going behind the trapdoor, the Pesach. We're going to the door from behind. We're meeting in a space of Aguda Achas, one circle. And from that place, everything else evaporates. There's another expression in Oite Oir Kasalma, Nete Shemaim Kairia, which means that when there was Iskalulas, when there was light everywhere, Hu Shmoi Echad, and then when that light was removed for a second, the mashal we always use as when I walk around and I'm fine, and then when we go into the pool and you come out, you're cold, going into the shower, getting out, all of a sudden you become aware of your body. So first there was light, it was nice and warm, and we didn't recognize, I didn't appreciate myself, I wasn't aware of myself. But now that we got the water, the water was removed, the light was removed, mitamal, I become aware of every part of my body. And that is Oit Oir Kasama, where the Eibishter is, he removed the light, and what happened is, what was exposed is, Torah mitzvahs was exposed. Mitamal, I became aware of the 613 plus 7 mitzvahs D'Rabbanan, Tarach, which is 620, and that is Keser. So the 620 mitzvahs is Keser. Now, I don't know how many of us know the 613 mitzvahs and we're fully active in that, and a lot of them we can't even do anymore. But ultimately, the way to get in there is by just turning Nasa V'Nishma, accepting, turning on the innocence, going back into my inner child, believing, loving, accepting, and Machshavate Matzarav L'Maisa, which is you're there, tuning into the frequency, to the vibration. Ani Avaya Lo Shenisi. It's the same Eibishter that was the times of Avram and all going through the generations. It's just that the bodies have changed. But now that we're turned, dial in, raise the consciousness, raise the awareness, so we can receive, you can become a receiver for higher conscience. You can become a receiver for the highest levels of, we can tap into anything we want. It's available. You have Das Ellen, you have the key and the Bechira to do anything you wish and anything you want. If you ask, you receive. So this is Shuas night. This is the koyach of where we're stepping into to oneness, but oneness in body, in guf, feeling it, acting it out by eating, sleeping, talking, davening, accepting, reaching out, being present. As you feel the pull and the distraction, tap into the inside, tap into your inner self, to the inner child. So, also some asked about staying up Shuas night, what the vart is. So the vart is that by Matan Torah Parcha Nishmasan, also there was the Indian that we came late, all right, fine. But then Halpi Chasidus is Parcha Nishmasan. So what happens is that there was a massive download of Iskalulas, of oneness. And now we have to find the letters and the oisies for it. So specifically Tikkun Leil Shvius, there's specific designed the Tikkun, which is once we create the horses, the susim, we create the letters. So there's an opportunity. That's when that we can download this Hiskalulas, which is not Tachlis Ekavana. Tachlis Ekavana is not to sit in meditation all day. Tachas HaKavana is integration. To bring it into Welt. And the sooner we chab this nekuda, the sooner we're out. So there should be a Kabbalah Satayra b'simcha pnimius, from inside out, not from outside in, inside out, pushing through, connecting. And of course, Chassidus brings it down here. There is no other side on Shavuos. There is no battle. Everything is removed. All the doors were in Keser. There is no, everything you are experiencing, wherever you are, when you're drinking a glass of wine, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. The only thing missing is our innocence to tune in, to tap into that, to believe in that, to accept that I am a Yid and I am where I need to be, and this is the Varavai, this is how it's being expressed right now, because that's what he wants. Because if he didn't want, then it wouldn't be. The only spin that I'm having is because I have a question. I'm questioning if what I'm doing is, am I doing this or should I do that? I could have done this one, I could have done that. As it goes, before it's done, there's Bechira. After it's done, that's what he wanted. And how much easier would life be that when we accept that this is exactly the way it needs to be? It can't be anything else, because he is everything and he's everywhere, and everything is a push and pull from source, from Eibishter. And it's exactly the way it needs to be. So if we take out the doubt, which is Noiga, which is the Sfeikis, then we're Vichon Shama Neged Dahar, Kishechet B'Lev Echad. And this is the koyach of, this is what we're tapping into on Shavuos and Keser, where the Sfeikis, there's no midas there, there's no expression, we just are. We just are, then what's the point? But now I'm there with all my full body, full embodiment, because of the work and all the awarenesses that we have become aware of. So l'chaim, have an awesome Shavuos, and whatever vehicle you need to get there. Red wine, white wine, cheesecake, meat, all the above. It's our Yom Tov, it's our time to celebrate. So, get all in. Get Yom Tov, get Shabbos.